Hey girl, hey! Today we're talking about charisma, uniqueness and nerve. And it's 30 plus degrees outside and it's humid AF. I'm sweating my tits off and yeah, sorry about that. So if I seem a little bit like it's because the weather is it's good but it's terrible. I have a slight migraine, so but anyway girl, today I wanted to scour through my collection of fragrances, and y'all know I have too many, maybe to some extent, but what I do like in my collection is charismatic, different fragrances. And I like when somebody writes in Fragrantica, where I frequent. I like Fragrantica, I scour through things, I see what people say. When somebody says something like, oh, it's so polarizing, I'm like, okay girl, that means I'm there. Because like I get bored with just the same kind of things all over again. So I just picked like the most interesting fragrances to me, in my personal opinion, in my own collection, just to kind of show you guys and talk about why. So some of these you've seen, so I'm gonna start with the ones that I talk less about, but that are exactly like charismatic. They have uniqueness and nerve, and I have these because all of these are pretty pungent. Many of these are really strong, so I have the strips to make this a little bit easier for all of us and to give you guys a honest review. So first of all, I think I'm gonna start off with the ones that I don't talk about that much, but that I find really interesting and different and stuff. And first off, I'm gonna start with Mancera Amber and Roses. And this is my only Mancera that I own, but I was really surprised by this. And I have a sneaking suspicion that I might enjoy more Pierre Montal's creations from Montal and Mancera, because I really do enjoy this one. And this is Amber and Roses, as I said. This one, the name is so not what it is. To me, this smells like graveyard dirt during autumn, and like that kind of like almost like muddy elements and that soil, and it smells like roses during rain, like exactly this kind of humid air. And that's why some people love it, some people hate it. To me, it's extremely gothic. It's something I've never smelled before. I don't know how they make that like soil element, but it's so realistic. Like it's like, I imagine like a beautiful zombie bride or something, like, you know that Corpse Bride. You know that Corpse Bride movie? Like I think that she would wear this, like the Corpse Bride from Tim Burton's movie. And this one, it's so interesting. Right off the top, you get like a honeyed, nice, fresh rose. So it's like dewy, honeyed, rainy rose. And underneath that, you get like that, like soil element, like this kind of like dark soil. And I don't know why they say this is amber, because to me this does not smell like amber. It more so smells something akin to patchouli fragrance, but even more earthy. And I don't know how they managed to do that, but it really does smell like overturned dirt. And that's interesting. Like for some reason, I feel like people who like earthy smells, who like green smells, who like being in the garden would definitely like this. But like you need to like the smell of dirt, like that's the weird thing. This makes me think of also like Bram Stoker's Dracula. It's very romantic, it reminds me of Grimm's fairy tales, and that's why I really like this one. To me this is a perfect autumn scent for going out, for doing things, but you need to like that earthy smell. And I've never tried anything like it, and it seems like it's a required taste. So yeah, that's cool. It's my vampire fragrance. Talking about which, another kind of like a little bit vampire-ish element, to me, I think of like leather and like darkness and, unisex fragrances as kind of that. And to me, Cabochard by Grey is exactly that. This is the newer formulation. I wish I had the older one, but I've heard that this is one of those reformulations that is spot on. People say this is great, and I also do think so. But this is a very unique fragrance. It's a dry leather chypre for women, but this is completely unisex in my opinion. It's just really unusual for them to make this kind of fragrance. Like when this came out, it was like super weird that it was marketed towards women. It was kind of a showstopper. Even the name means stubborn, so it's like a female boss lady type of scent. And yeah, this is like, people say that it smells like, yeah, it's like this dry leather, dry black leather with oak moss, like really dark, realistic oak moss. And I've heard that this reformulated version is toned down from the oak moss, so I wonder how much there was, because I can definitely pick up the oak moss. There's like, I think some kind of animalics, maybe castoreum or something. And it's super animalic, okay? Like it's animalic dry chypre. This to me screams old money. It smells like a lady in their 60s who is like a banker's wife or something. And like Cruella de Vil type of person, and I really love that. This to me smells like a dominatrix. It's kind of like that kind of fuck around and find out type, and I really like it. I really like when perfumers give kind of like typically male scents to women and kind of twist them, because in a weird way this also has just enough femininity for it to be a female scent. Like there's this sweetness in it, just a tiny bit like underneath, something like almost akin to honey, something like that. Just like a twinge where it's not too masculine, and I really love that. But this is definitely an acquired taste. Some people say it smells like tobacco ash and you need to like it, but I really do. This is one of my most worn during like winter time. I've dented it and I've only had this for like a month. So this is also super long lasting, like it lasts for 24 hours. It's great, really like it. So Cabochard by Grey. Next up, we're talking about dark fragrances and interesting concoctions that I've never kind of like smelled anywhere else. And what would that be without Lalique's Encre Noir? Encre Noir is a vetiver oil and ink fragrance, and this one, I really like it. It's very dark, it's very autumnal. I find this to be very artistic because it smells like Indian ink that you use for making cartoons. Like I'm an artist and I used to use that quite a lot, and that's why I like this so much. However, I'm a little bit allergic to it. I can't put it on skin or I get a rash because I'm allergic to vetiver oil. Nonetheless, I really like this one. Oh yeah, it's kind of like a very, it has this sharpness, woodiness, darkness in it. I find this very sexy and mysterious for some reason. Like I feel like it's unisex, but it's leaning masculine, and to me it just smells like an art gallery and darkness of woods combined. It's very heavy on vetiver, and it's like that black Indian ink. With some sort of, I think there's a little bit of like some greenness mixed in. But yeah, this is a very unique scent. I've never smelled anything like it. I'm a little bit allergic to it, so I need to be careful. It's already kind of like causing some allergy. I'm sorry. This is one of those fragrances that I need to be careful with because I'm a little allergic to vetiver oil. So yeah, but I really like it, so that's kind of a problem with me. But I had to mention this because I think that it's very This is very niche, okay? This feels niche. I don't know if you're supposed to say that, but it's not commercial, that's what I mean. It's not very commercially attractive, it's very artistic to me, and I really like this composition. So yeah, and it's long lasting. So Encre Noir by Lalique. Then next up, we're taking a memory lane type of thing, and we're talking about Badealude by Latafa. And this one I used to hate when I got it, and I've grown to love it. After it macerated, it became way better. This one is an interesting spicy dark rose with burnt plastic. And I know that sounds weird, but to me it smells like PU. It smells like latex, and I really like latex clothes. That's one thing that to know about me. So to me this is sexy smell. It's very feminine. I really like the rose in this one, and I like the spices in this one. This is definitely a winter scent. Gorgeous bottle, by the way, look at that. Oh my god. It's long lasting, and that burned rubber thing is kind of sexy to me in a weird way. It's like something you're not supposed to like, but you like, you know, that kind of scent. And it makes this completely different from anything I own. It really smells like the color, like that dark violet. I don't know how to tell you guys, but it does. It's perfect, like it smells like this looks like. It's very witchy to me. I really like this one. And it smells completely different during summertime, I notice. It's way sweeter during summertime, and when it's winter it gets spicier and darker. This is a really nice one. I'm really happy I have it. And people have said to me that it smells very sexy and confident, and just the kind of like latex element in this is super dominant, and it somehow plays really nicely with that tiny touch of oud. There's just a little bit oud in the background, not much, and I like that. I don't like too much oud. This is nicely balanced, and I really like it. I quite like the plasticky smell. It reminds me of PU clothes. So latex and rose and spices. Badealude. Very long lasting. I recommend. Very witchy also. Ooh, it's smelling quite strong here. Okay. Next up, what am I gonna talk next? Okay, let's do something a bit fresher that I find interesting. So, I'm gonna talk about Madame Isabel, or this is a dupe of Larive of Coco Mademoiselle. And I know what you guys are thinking, like, Coco Mademoiselle, isn't that really like typical? Yes, but when it came out, it was one of those like first interesting youthful patchoulis. You know, like it's youthful and classy, but it's like a cheaper type of freshie. And I feel like the earthiness and airiness of this one is quite unique actually. When you are into fragrance, you like nowadays it's more usual, but back then it wasn't when it came out. And I feel like this is one of those like really classic, interesting smells that was kind of a statement back then. And yeah, I just really like it. I like the earthiness with that freshness. I feel like it's really nice in it that it's grounded but elevated. And I think that that's unusual. And that's why this is on the list. This is the most interesting freshie I own, one of them. Like I have two, I have Cabotin Grey and this one. And I really like both. This is like, it's fizzy, it's airy, but at the same time the patchouli keeps it grounded, which is different to me. And the way it's classy and likable is kind of impressive to me. It's just an impressive fragrance, and I had to mention it in this video. And I know that some people say that it's not different or interesting enough, but I completely disagree with you guys on that one. And then next up we have to talk about Cabotin by Gress. And this is my other grey fragrance. And I really love it. It's the most green and most interesting, long-lasting freshie that has depth to it. I know that's a mouthful. It also has this elusive tiger lily note that is not typical in any fragrance that I've ever used. And this is super long-lasting. It was made by Madame Grey because she wanted something long-lasting and deep and faceted, but still managing to be fresh, and that's exactly what this is. This is very heavy on aldehydes. To me it smells like cold mountain air with greenery and that tiger lily, and it's really green. It's really like herbalicious green, airy, with a little bit of a base of soapiness and earthiness. And one of the interesting things about this fragrance to me is it's really long lasting, and when you smell it on your skin it smells really earthy, but when it wafts in the air then it smells super duper like airy. This is again like one of those airy mixed up with really like grounded fragrances. So that's kind of like Cabotin Grey, and I feel like it's an acquired taste. The dry down of this is way better than the opening. For the price, this is an amazing cheapie. It's 14 euros for 100 milliliters, and this lasts a super long time. I really like it during wintertime and summertime. It's kind of like all year round signature fragrance that I really find interesting. And this video would not be this video without me mentioning Eden. I'm not gonna spray this because it's a beast, but I'm gonna tell you guys about it. This is a very interesting fragrance with locust flower, watermelon, green notes, water notes, and it's white florals also. And the thing about this is that it smells completely different during summertime and during wintertime. It's like having two different fragrances. It somehow interacts with the weather and the skin chemistry of people, and it can smell very different on different people, and I find that interesting. Also, the locust flower is not used widely, and it's a very interesting note. It feels like it's ironic, or like it has this iron tinge to it, almost like, I like to say blood, like it smells a little bit like blood in that way that it's iron, and like greenery, like tea type of thing mixed together. And it has this weird humming in it, like it smells like it vibrates. It's weird to kind of like put that in words, but that's what I get. And this one has that a little bit of sorry, spiciness in it from that locust flower, and it's a very different note from anything I've ever tried, and that's why I really like this one. This also has a lot of white florals in it. It's very pretty, okay, like super pretty, and it transforms on skin, like, and during different winter time. During winter it's more like a spicy, earthy smell, and during summertime it's like honeyed floral, white floral, and that's what's interesting about Eden, and that's why it's on this video. And last but not least, I want to mention Kokoko, because Kokoko is a really affordable, interesting cinnamon and white floral, and this one has a very distinct cinnamon note. So if you like cinnamon and you like that white floral type of thing, you are gonna love Kokoko. Kokoko has ambergris and civet, so it has a very distinct base of Animalics. And this to me is one of my most interesting, spicier white florals. It's so fresh, it's nice, it's soapy, but it has such a nice cinnamon element to it. It has a lot of aldehydes, so if you don't like aldehydes, then this might not be your thing. They kind of tickle my nose a little bit right now. There's so much fragrance in this room right now, and they're all strong fragrances. But yeah, this is a really fresh, nice one. I really like this for summertime. I should actually wear this more. It's inexpensive. I don't hear people talking about this a lot, but it's a really nice one. Like, different composition from anything that I've tried. It's ambergris, civet in the base, which gives it like that animalic touch, but it still remains quite fresh, but it's very feminine. And that cinnamon, and then you get like the most beautiful white flowers. It's so nice. This is one of my favorites, honestly, and it's really refreshing with the, like, aldehydes in this are really refreshing. I'm actually gonna put this after this video on my perfume tray, because I feel like I should give more attention to Kokoko during summertime. Really nice one. This is like a thing that people sleep on. This is a gem that people sleep on. Bourgeois Kokoko. Okay. Yeah, it's really different. I honestly forgot how much I like it. It has that kind of orange peel type of element to it also, which is really nice with the aldehydes. Like, it's really hard to describe. Cinnamon, orange peel, white flowers, aldehydes. Really nice. I really like it. It's kind of like white floral, spicy, fresh. And that's a really different kind of category. And a little earthy. I really like it, okay? So that's my most interesting fragrances tag. I'd like to see your charismatic, unique, and with nerve type of fragrances. This was my collection, and I hope to see yours. I hope you liked this video, and I see you guys in my next one. See you, you unique little babes. Bye!